Hello Komiks People! Ako si Mel Kasipit and welcome to Indie Komiks Podcast. Kasama ko ulit si Vaughn Tan.
Hello po,
ng 11:30 to Baguio. Nakakalimutan ko yung oras.
11:30 to Baguio. Hello everyone.
Yan eh. Kumusta naman, Vaughn? How was life after the first interview?
Live
So
so
we're back
far.
on track, guys.
Oh
Everyone.
no, will they be able to hear us?
It's gonna be
Okay.
4 p.m. with chocolate
Live so
sun.
far. I've just been focusing a lot on work. Right now, nagtuturo ako sa Lasal as a
Vinyl?
Vinyl, yeah. Sa animation department. I've been focusing on that, and because of that, wala na rin akong time talaga magagawa ng drawing.
Oo, nagtuturo din ako sa inyo naman.
Okay, nice.
Pero part-time.
Ako rin part-time ako.
Hindi ko kaya mag-full-time.
Kaya nga eh.
Inisip ko kasi yung part-time, puno na yung oras ko. What more kung full-time, di ba?
But may iba ka pang job apart from that?
Freelance.
Freelance? Tama. Right. Ako naman, part-time plus masters. I'm taking the masters currently this
Doon din
year.
sa ano?
Sa Vinyl din.
Anong masters mo?
Masters of Digital Media.
Digital media. How much ang ano dun? Isang SEM?
Ang isang SEM, ang mahal. About 45 na
45K isang SEM. Tapos trimester.
trimester. Isang term 45.
Kasi pinagmamasteral na rin ako eh. Nung ano,
Oo nga, para
digital media.
Para maging prof ka na talaga.
Okay, kailan ang ano dun? Enrollment? Naiba na hindi na comics yung usapan.
Somewhat related, it's still art.
Yeah, sa bagay.
Enrollment, I think every term meron, every sem.
Ngayon, wala SEM break ngayon.
Ngayon, wala pa. Halfway na kami ng second term.
Okay. So kung mag-enroll ako, mag-aantay pa ako ng first
Mga-
term ulit.
Hindi. I think next term pwede ulit. Ganun.
Sige. Kasi pinag-ano na ako, yung pinagmamasteral eh. Tagal ko nang nagtuturo since 2021. Tapos, ayun, hinahanapan ako ng master.
Master, so para makarank up ka. Kasi ako, 1 year pa lang ako nagtuturo.
Ako, tagal na.
Ayun. Kaya lang, baka mag-stop ulit ako
Hi guys,
magturo.
hello.
Kasi
Eyes and ears on
may-
people. So this
may
is
nakuha
Chocolate
akong
Sun.
bagong
Chocolate
job
Sun
opportunity.
is a graphic designer,
naman, as an
video
artist
editor,
din,
and
lead
comic
this time
artist.
for an
Her
indie game
portfolio
studio.
includes the horror comics.
Local or
Walang
international?
naman ng-
International,
walang
based in the
naman ang
UK.
hapon,
Congrats.
and the
Thank you.
Santo.
Cheers, ganun sila dun eh.
Yeah.
A
Cheers.
romance
Cheers, mate.
fantasy
Cheers,
in his
mate.
universe,
Yeah,
and
cheers,
her
mate.
latest series,
So,
I
yun.
Ship
Wala silang
Everyone
elevator
Except.
doon, ang meron doon
So,
lift.
Chocolate Sun,
Lift,
please
tama.
take the stage.
Wala silang trash can, ang meron sa kanila,
awesome.
bin.
Come on,
bin.
guys. Let's give them a round of applause.
French fries, chips.
Oo.
Alright.
Tapos yung ano nila, greetings na cheers.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Pero ang weird doon yung boss ko walang ganung accent.
wala?
Yeah. Yun nga yung weird sa kanya.
So anong accent niya, ano?
Wala lang.
Normal.
American lang.
Oo.
Ganun lang. It's really
So, hi
disappointing.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Mabalik tayo ng konti sa ano mo, sa comics
Yeah, try
mo.
it.
So,
Let's try.
it's very detailed.
Yes.
Grabe yung, nung binasa ko, nung in-interview kasi kita, hindi ko pa alam kung anong in-expect ko. Nung binasa ko na yung libro, sabi ko,
Hi everyone. My name
grabe
is
yung
Chocolate
detail
Sun.
nito.
These are some of my works.
bakit mo dinitil ng ganun?
Okay, fair question. Sobrang naiingit kasi ako sa mga Japanese manga, mga works nila. Tapos talagang parang sila lang din nagko-kompetensya eh. Kasi sila yung talagang magagaling. Mga Kentaro Miura, Takehiko Inoue, Junji Ito being my biggest inspiration for this one.
Layo eh. Kay Junji Ito.
Yun lang, medyo malayo lang.
Mas malapit ka kay siguro Inoue.
Yeah.
Oo.
Kasi si Takehiko Inoue talaga yung inaral ko. I studied him for like 2 months. I just look at his work. I tried copying his work.
High school,
And,
it's a combination of
well, the reason I wanted to do that,
very close
well, one, I just have naturally high standards. I wanted to produce a local comic book that could possibly match the level of manga artists that's already being put out there.
Well, I think you've done your part.
Thank you.
Sobrang detailed nung comic. Sabi ko nga,
yung partner
Nung tinitingnan ko yung cover, sabi ko, sayang yung it didn't give justice to the inside detail. Parang 11:30 to Baguio, okay, 11:30 to Baguio. Pero pag binuklat mo, mas mawawaw ka dun sa
thank you
details.
so
So, what is I Ship Everyone
Ayun.
except for me?
So,
It's a high school romance
ano pa yung,
comedy slice of
paano mo
life
siya
that follows
dinitel?
Jamie
Digital ba siya o
Tamayo, who is
traditional?
notorious for
It's
jumping
fully
from one goal to
digital.
another.
Fully
So,
digital.
Kasi
every year, iba-iba yung gusto
I
niya
thought
gawin.
about traditional,
And this year,
pero ang hirap
discover
kasing
niya, sige, gusto ko
maging
naman
confident
gumawa
sa
ng love
traditional.
story.
Pagka nagkamali ka, I
Walang
guess
undo.
walang
Experience sa
undo.
love, so
And I thought it's better as my first time venture into comic books to be as efficient as possible. So I just kept it completely digital in Photoshop then. I have my own Cintiq. I think we have the same. Wait, you have Yuyon?
Hindi.
What's
Ano
yours?
ako eh, Wacom 1. Pero meron din,
Screen tablet.
hindi, ano yung mas murang version ng Cintiq?
Pero marami pang terms.
Yung
dito
Wacom,
na-
yung third,
Ang display tablet din siya.
Right, okay. I have the 30-inch Cintiq.
Ako din, meron ako nun, 13 HD. Pero ano na, luma na. So, bumili na ako ng bago kasi sira na
Still
yun.
working, mine's still working.
Ang maganda sa Cintiq, matibay talaga.
Yeah.
Ayun.
But yeah.
So, gaano katagal yung isang page?
Oh.
Well,
Well,
depende sa page siguro. Pero yung
depende sa page. But I had a very good, consistent timeline for each page. At some point, sa unat sobrang bagal ko talaga. Like 3 days
sa isang
for
page.
one page. But after a while, it became faster and faster. I was able to do 1 page a day. Pero minsan talaga may yung sobrang complex na pages, mga spreads, or basta sobrang detailed daw isang page lang, like 2 days, 3 days, ganun. But consistently, I was able to do it 1 page a day. And I was able to make the deadline for the first week off, get it published.
Kaya nga last year, di ba?
Yeah.
How was the sale so far from last year to this year?
To be frank, very not as good. Yeah. In the first week of, I sold about 90 plus, ganun.
Dami yun.
Which is, I know, really good for the first day. Right now, I haven't even broken 10. Barely 80. I still have copies here.
Oh, nakabili na kasi sila eh.
Yeah, I think, so a few reasons for that. I think a lot of the people who went to Peak Off already bought the comic book. In fact, a couple of people who passed by my table said that, oh, I already got your comic, I bought it from last Peak Off.
Yeah. Ang tendency kasi yung mga pumupunta sa ganitong event, same people din eh.
Same people,
Kung may
I
mga
think.
bago, konti-konti lang.
Right. And maulan pa. So traveling here kahapon, and I think also because of Pota, patron of the arts, so there's competition there. I think a lot of people went there.
Maybe,
So yeah, but I'm just here just to promote because I haven't been doing a lot of marketing on my Facebook page. So
kailangan din yun, marketing.
yeah, that's the part that I really didn't think much about getting into comic books. That's why I approached the publisher. I'll just
Silang
kayo na bahala.
I'll
I'll just stay here, keep doing my thing, but the reality is kailangan mo rin talaga yung market. So that's why I'm here.
Ano yung thought process mo sa paggawa ng page? Kasi habang binabasa ko yung comics, it's like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
May mga page na all black, tapos isang maliit lang na, na panel. Tapos
Yeah.
sabi ko, grabe to. Masyadong hindi siya, wala siyang pakialam kung sayang yung page kasi lahat black, tapos isa lang yung
Isang ganun lang.
Oo.
Yeah.
Bakit ganun yung ginawa mo? May nakita ka bang ganun? Tapos sabi mo, gagayahin ko to dun sa gagawin kong comic.
No, I haven't seen anyone that has done that.
Kaya mo
So I
ginawa.
thought that's why I did it. Because I wanted to, because the lack of space helps the narrative. It's part of the emotion. Like it can feel isolating. There's some scene, I even call it scenes even though it's not a film. Some pages there, like isang panel lang, it's so tight, and the whole idea is it's gonna make you feel very isolated. It's gonna give a very, also the illusion of time, me being able to control the time, if you keep flipping and flipping, it feels like it's slower.
Yeah, so very effective yung ginawa mo, sabi ko. First time ko yung nakita kasi the tendency is, ang gagawin mo lang, yung isang page, yung all black, yun yung all black. Pero yung spread, tapos all black, isa lang.
All black.
Grabe, sabi ko. Wala siyang pakialam kung sayang yung page, pero na-feel ko na-feel ko yung gusto mong ipa-feel.
That's exactly what I wanted everyone to feel. Like, what is he doing? This is not how you. Is this how you make a comic book? This feels like a waste of a. But I hope narratively it makes sense to the readers, and so that's what I did it for.
Hindi ko na-feel na ano siya, hindi siya kailangan.
Right.
Na-feel ko na it's part of the story.
Yes, and because you mentioned that it felt like a film, that is true. Because I think from my first interview, I told you that I was a cinephile. I was really into films, and talagang gusto kong gumawa ng movie at some point. I tried to write a screenplay, but
Maybe in the future,
Maybe in the future.
11:30 to Baguio can be a movie.
a short, an animated short, something like that.
Nandun ka na sa vinyl, di pitch mo.
I don't know.
Animahin
It's
na
gonna be a
siya.
lot of work. Animahin na siya.
Gawin yung mga estudyante mo, ay wag na.
So when I was making this, yung vision ko talaga for it is as a film. I've always envisioned it as a film. But then I didn't want to transfer that vision onto the comic book medium and pretend as if it weren't a comic book, as if it were just a film. Like, I don't want it to look like a storyboard. That's why
it's not. It's a comic
because
book.
it's not. Yeah. So I wanted to push the medium. Okay, how can I use this story and elevate it even further as a comic book? And that's why I came up with all those weird paneling. Okay, how else can I break away from the traditions of how to make a comic book? Okay, what if we just do one panel, one page, make it very slow, let's do some animations. Like there's a scene there where it's just his face and it's kind of animating. So I wanted to explore a lot of those. Be very experimental.
So that was chocolate.
It's been a while since I was able to read that kind of
That's good.
detail.
Yeah.
Tapos it feels like a movie when you're reading it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ano yung favorite part mo dun sa comics? Yung part na talagang nag-enjoy kang gawin na page? O spoiler siya? Huwag mo na lang sabihin pag spoiler.
Let me see. It's hard to answer because every page was very hard to make and it was very grueling, torturous, I would say. I would use that word. But I think I started enjoying drawing the kind of like drawing the bus more. I hated drawing the alien. I didn't like drawing the tentacles. I don't know, it was kind of boring for me. But whenever it was the environments, whenever I had the 3D for it, and it was just me doing the cross-hatching.
Yeah, medyo realistic
That's when
na
I-
yung
yeah.
ano. Paano yung reference mo dun? Did you take photos and then use it as
Yung bus?
reference? Oo.
No, I
In
used
my-
Blender. I did a 3D version of the bus.
Okay,
So,
hello guys. So
I used
announcements. Book
one
signing
whole month
today
just
is
to make the
happening
bus.
at Vibal's
The
booth.
interior of the bus, every seat, every
over
bolt,
there.
I did it.
It's
Yung dashboard nung
so it's
driver,
gonna be a book signing of Ken
I
Fu at the
researched every
Vibal
button on it.
Foundation
Para
booth.
accurate.
Para
If you
accurate,
can
yeah.
see them
So,
over here,
and the reason I
right
did that,
next to the Palestine
because I wanted to be able to move around the bus
It's a whole presentation
and not
of
worry
the
about
books and
which
other
one's
stuff
finished,
that you
which
might
one's
enjoy.
not.
So please,
If I feel like moving the panel here, it'll always look good no matter what. I didn't want to have to, oh no, this part's not done, I'm gonna go back to Blender, then finish that page. So I thought I'll just dedicate one whole month, finish the bus model,
Grabe.
and yeah, that was a breeze. That was really great because you get to properly align your shots. So my terminology, sobrang film, right? You get to finally
Grabe,
align your
that's,
shots.
that level of dedication is
Yeah.
unheard of. Committing one whole month
Right.
just for a reference.
Just for the reference for the 3D. Because, I'm glad that I did that because if I didn't, I would have trouble trying to do the backgrounds from scratch, doing the doing the perspective every time.
What about
No
the
way.
environment dun sa comics? Di ba may mga din doon, parang going to Baguio may mga trees.
Mga puno-puno, mga trees.
Nag-reference ka doon.
Yeah, Google Maps.
Google Maps.
I just went to Google Maps. I look at the trees, but I didn't, because I think it's still copyright, whatever Google Maps had. So I just use it as reference to inspiration.
Loose reference.
I loosely copied it. So yeah, I just went to
Grabe.
Google Maps. Yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Apparently, there's this whole thing in YouTube where they're all big fans of buses. That's their entire content.
It's about buses.
Yeah, and I didn't know about that.
So, may mga nung ginawa mo yung comics, nanganak siya ng mga ibang knowledge.
Yeah, I
like
know.
knowledge sa buses.
Wow. I had no idea people were into buses this much.
Alam ko yung mga trains maraming mahilig sa train.
Yeah,
Pero
trains,
buses,
planes, buses. I had no idea. Really? So yeah, that part of it was fun.
Sa mga nanonood, kung hindi nyo alam, sobrang ganda nung ma-detail talaga yung comics. So,
Yeah.
check nyo yung libro para mas ma-appreciate nyo itong pinag-uusapan namin. Paano ka natutong mag-comics? How did you learn how to create that kind of narrative na style? Kasi it looks like you have been doing this for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
That was the hope. I have been. This is my first properly published comic book that the public is seeing, but I had a lot of other stories that I did. Puro rough sketch lang siya on pencil paper. I put it on the folders with the plastic. I forgot what you call that.
Asan na sila?
They're just in my shelf. Nasa
Ilabas
shelf
mo,
lang.
sayang naman.
No, 300 pages in. It's too much. I don't want to spend 2 years again just to finish it. And I don't like the story anymore. So that became my
Training ground.
Yeah, exactly. My training ground into making comic books. I read a lot of comic books too, though I still wouldn't call myself a comic book nerd. I haven't read that much. I only read specifically to learn the craft.
Hello.
But
So,
yeah, I've been doing a lot of roughs.
Ano yung mga bagay na ginawa mo to learn the
Okay,
craft
so,
of creating comics?
Right.
YouTube videos ba? Libro?
5 p.m. Sherry Domingo will
Specifically
be
to learn.
having a
No, I just
panel by
looked at comic
Panoorin
books.
called Long Distance.
I didn't go to
Or should
any
go down
like
called
workshop
Long Distance
or
Call.
something like
So
that.
just a little info
I think
on Sherry. She is a
because I was
cartoonist
more
from
into
Korea.
film,
Her
it
debut
was
Long
easy to
Distance
transfer
Call was published
my film knowledge
by
to the
Edition
comic book.
Modern in 2019,
And
this
I
year
supplemented it
is
with,
by Vaughn.
well, what
With
comic, how do
Captions,
comic book
published
artists
Madame Choi and the
tell a
Monsters
story
in
through comics,
2023,
and that's how I learned
which has
all
been
about
published in English
the
by
two-page
Philippine.
spread, how they
So
sometimes
after
change the
5
panel
p.m.
shape.
they're
It's not
really
always square, sometimes they make it circle. They really do something, so many weird things with it. And so
Would you
Just combine
recommend
those two.
would you recommend watching a lot of movies to improve creating?
yeah, actually. I also watch Manben. I know we talked about that a lot because I was very into manga, and I learned a lot about how they did their cross-hatching work, their paneling.
Buti hindi ka na-inspire Jeepin.
Traditional, no. Pero tinry ko lang i-emulate sa digital. So yeah, I
Photoshop
do
talaga yun.
Photoshop.
Hindi
Purely
ka talaga
Photoshop.
yung Clip Studio Paint. Mas yun eh.
No, I know, I heard about it, but ang tagal din kasi I got so used to Photoshop. It would take me a while to switch to CSP. I do have CSP Paint. I've tried it. It does have better brush settings.
Oo. Lalo na yung Jeepin brush nila.
Oh, yeah.
Talagang mukha siyang Jeepin eh.
Yeah, and they have tools specifically for comic
For
books,
comics,
unlike
yes.
Photoshop. But I made it work in Photoshop.
Oo.
It's fine.
Actually, ako din, mas sanay ako sa Photoshop
Photoshop,
eh.
yeah.
And there's a learning curve if you want to learn
Yeah.
Clip Studio Paint. So, if
Like,
you're going
all
to use
the
it,
key maps, I am so
Different.
used to it. I don't even look at the keyboard anymore. But yeah, I do recommend that you look into films too, because it's a good way to learn more about storytelling. Because in the end, that's what this is. It's storytelling. And the medium is just on paper using panels.
what do you think is what's the advantage of comics in storytelling as compared to film?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot too. It's honestly, very hard to defend because anything a comic book can do can be transferred over to film immediately. In fact, that's what Marvel's doing. Every manga, every anime that you watch is based on a manga,
Yeah.
which does annoy me a lot because it just feels like, well, what's the worth of comic books? The only artist that I believe is able to really use the medium to its fullest is Junji Ito. If you watch,
yung flip, di ba?
yeah, if you watch his all the anime adaptations, they're all bad.
fall short.
They all fall short. And why is that? I think it's because the medium, the way Junji Ito tells a story through the medium is so much better, so much more detailed. And you can't do that amount of detail from a comic book to an anime.
Yeah.
It would be incredibly expensive. And I do think sometimes the stillness, the lack of motion, adds to the creepiness of it. You get to stay in the moment longer, and your imagination is much stronger sometimes.
Yeah.
So when you see it start to move, you're not imagining anymore. It's right there already. So it doesn't transfer over nicely. It doesn't improve it in any way.
Yeah.
So, well, as for other comic books, I can't defend them. I think sometimes they are better as a film. Like Komi Can't Communicate, that's a manga that I've read a lot. It's a slice of life. It's way cuter, way fun to watch as an anime versus a manga. So, yeah, if you really, really know your shit, how you tell a story through the comic book, I think you can go beyond film. But it's very hard to do, incredibly hard to do. Not gonna lie.
So if someone approached you and they would like to adapt the comics into a film or
Yeah.
an animated
Right.
movie, would you accept the offer?
If they gave me a lot of money, yes. But putting that aside, I do not think it will be any better. Okay, I don't say that in an egotistical way, but I made the story specifically for a comic book. I made it specifically with the intent to be unadaptable. That's why I did those weird paneling thing. I guess technically you could still do that on a film. This is black and this is like a tiny panel
But
there.
it will be a different experience.
Yeah, it'll be weird. So I'd like to see it. It might be interesting, but
Maybe a director that is very skilled,
yeah, it
that
could be.
also is
Yeah.
knowledgeable in comics.
In comics, yeah. Maybe me. Just hire me. Just give me the money. I'll do a short animated version of it.
Yeah. Does your students know that you are?
Yeah, they do. In fact, the first time I came back teaching to Benilde, I was like introducing myself, right? Oh, I'm an illustrator, an animator too in the game industry, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, and I also did comic books. And then one of my students said, yes, sir, we know.
May-research ka nila?
They researched me already. It's like, how do you know? Oh, sir, we researched you already. We all know about your work. Oh, it's kind of embarrassing, but also really, really
Well,
cool that they know.
That would be an advantage to you because
Yeah.
they already know that you are a good artist.
Yeah, I know.
So they will realize that, okay, we want to learn from this person.
Yeah, yeah. And
Any specific questions they ask about the comics?
Not. Yeah, like they ask like what the story is because I learned now that a lot of people are confused by it. So my students are also confused by it. Like a student came up to me and asked me so they should just talk to me about what the comic book was about. And yeah, they talk about that. Some of them are into comic books and want to pursue comics. And I'm really glad that there's still a few students that are interested in comics.
Well,
and
comics
do
is
pursue
really not
comics.
for everyone. It's really
Yeah.
hard. Even the
It's really
animation
hard.
people,
Yeah,
they have a
it's
hard
very
time
hard.
transitioning from animation to comics.
To comic books, yeah. And it's really just not knowing, well, who are the publishers. That was my problem back in the time when I was trying to get into comic books. I didn't know what the space was like. Didn't know, well, who do I approach? And will
Siya
I
yung
even make
artist,
money?
magaling.
Hello.
Yeah. Vaughn Tan.
Hi, go ahead, you can pick it up.
I was just telling them about it because my roommate has a copy.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Napakagaling, di ba?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Go ahead, you can pick it up. So yeah, it's very hard to make money out of it too, not gonna lie. Because again, aside from just being an artist, you have to market it and you have to be good at that. And if you're not good at that, then
Yeah. Well, that is true. Marketing is very important.
I know.
Even if you have a good product, a good
Yeah, I
comics,
know.
if you don't market it well,
yeah, no one knows about it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna
and
buy it.
I also know some examples of not so good comics but really popular.
Really popular, yeah, because they're so good at marketing it. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, that's the caveat to that.
Maybe if your work is really really good, word of mouth marketing is.
That's what I'm hoping for. It might take years, sure,
Yeah.
but I'm still hopeful that might happen. And
But as long
hopefully-
as you're happy with what you have produced, that's the most
yeah.
important thing.
I'm pretty proud.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty glad that I was able to. In fact, some of my friends are jealous. Like they see my comic book and fully booked. It's like, man, your name's out there. That alone is enough for me.
Do you have a specific part in the comics that you would like to change if you were given a chance? Or no, this is the
That's a
perfect
very-
form already. I don't want to change anything.
No, that's very.
Hindi, kasi legit. Kailan mo pa bibili? Kailan ka pa pupuntang ito?
There are some.
Okay lang yan.
Story-wise,
Yeah, you can have it sa... You can
I might want to take a look at the story again and see what made it so confusing to a lot of people. It's hard for me to tell because I'm the one that wrote it. Obviously, to me, it makes sense. So, but art-wise, there are a lot of parts there that I'm still not fully satisfied with. I might want to come back to them,
Like what?
just refine them more. The faces,
It's already refined in my opinion. I mean.
the faces, some of them to me are not consistent,
Yeah.
but not too much. Yes, there are some still that I do want to come back to.
It's already very detailed.
Yeah.
Gulay. Grabe.
And then I'm sick of it. I don't want. I'd rather make the new one.
But
I'm tired of looking
have you
at it.
ever thought of creating a comics traditionally, especially now that
I
AI
have.
is
Right.
giving digital art a bad reputation?
I know that's a very good insight. I have thought about it, and I think I theorize this that at some point in the future, because of AI, more people are gonna come back to
Yeah, me. I
traditional.
would like to go back to traditional, but
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time because digital is so
so
much
fast.
faster.
I know, so fast. But once fatigue sets in, once people are sick of digital, they can't trust it anymore. Everything's AI, or I don't know what it is. It's not going to be impressive anymore. Then yeah, we might come back to traditional. And well, aside from AI, I have thought about trying traditional finally. Because I don't know.
But have you ever tried it before? Maybe when you're just studying comics, you have dabbled with traditional or not?
Yeah, of
yet?
course. I mean, I join competitions like you, painting competitions. Yeah, I join a lot of. I'm pretty good at oil painting. I mean, this is all traditional right here.
This is yours?
Yeah, I do a lot of traditional work.
Walang laman, di ba?
A lot of traditional work, of course, because I'm a teacher now as well. Yeah, for life draw, I do a lot of that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Live feeding sa ITP.
Oh, really? I made a sale.
Sorry.
Live, effective ang pagpa-podcast para makabenta ng comics.
Okay. Yeah, I got the gold pen already.
Binubudol ko sila.
Galing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hermie.
You're cosplaying as an inasal.
Yeah. I was interning for Pick-Off. That's where I found their comic.
Dapat may
Oh.
dala kang rice para pag may nagtas ng kamay.
Yeah,
gaganon.
with the.
Kasi I'm in comic at university batch then, and we're all teamed up in like, some of them are in chef's uniform. Wala akong chef uniform, so
True na lang, true.
yung isa naka-apron, parang kulay ng pop ice.
What do I make it out to?
L-I-K-K.
L-I-K-K-A. Yeah. I don't know. You spelled it out. Okay, 850.
Life talaga.
Live yan. Vaughn Tan live selling. Pamain.
Live selling.
Live selling.
Pamain na yan. 11:30 to Baguio, pamain.
We made a sale, guys.
Mine steal.
Steal ito, guys. Steal nyo na.
Steal niya. I'm very curious, what made you want to write a story like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, what made you write a story like this?
Oh, right. Okay, fair. Good question.
Yeah. I read it na kasi my roommate bought a copy.
Nagets mo naman yung story?
Yeah. I love
did?
the implied narrative.
Sabi
It's
nila,
so-
hindi
The
daw-
fly, yeah, some people didn't get the fly. The fly is very important to the narrative. So, oh yes, sorry, spoiler. I was a huge fan of Junji Ito. And
I could tell.
yeah, and I just like horror like that, like body horror. And I just wanted to freak people out with it.
What you did.
It's good.
It's so good.
I don't know.
It was talaga like, you should get it.
I couldn't tell you how I came up with the idea to decapitate a head and put it on an alien. But
So, like, the ideas here were so good. I also
Thank you.
especially loved it. The
Which
way
part?
you like really pushed some paneling.
yeah. Especially this one, I think a lot of people keep talking about this part where it's literally, why did you...
It's so
Yan yung tinanong ko din kanina.
Yeah, he was asking like, why did you waste all this space? But no, it's
It's not a
exactly.
Moment.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
what people
vibes.
would think. Exactly.
They were
Lead up to that also.
Hmm?
So the lead up.
Oh yeah, I know.
Stages.
Yeah.
so good.
It's like when movies make you feel suspense.
Ayun
Yeah,
nga,
it's
sabi ko
movies
sa'yo, di ba?
again.
It's kind of like when you close your eyes, you can still see the light.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Hermie.
Yes. Thanks so much.
Tanongin mo sila, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
It's so funny because I'm half deaf. I can't hear.
Oh, you are?
So I actually can't hear.
Oh, that's true.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Live selling dito sa
Wow.
IKP.
That was action-packed.
Yeah.
Good thing we caught that.
Nasa kaso makaka-copyright na tayo dahil sa music.
Oh,
eh.
that's true.
So yun na lang, advice mo sa mga aspiring comics creators from a very detailed-oriented comics person.
Right. Don't rush it. My biggest advice, it'll always be slow in the beginning. But that's because you're still learning it. You still suck at it. So I've been there in that process and it always demoralized me because, oh man, it takes me like 4 days just to
Finish the page.
finish one page. But those 2 days were me just practicing it, learning the style. But once you learn the style, once you figure out your thing, it's gonna take 1 day a page, 1 day a page. It's gonna be really fast. So I
When you
think
get used to it, if you are detailing every page, you'll get faster.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't help it.
You'll get really fast. You'll start enjoying it. You'll start to get the groove for it. So that's probably my biggest advice because I think that stops a lot of artists from pursuing it. Oh my God, this is a lot of work. It is still a lot of work, but it can be fast.
Yun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Comics People. Where can we follow you on your social media?
Right here, Vaughn Comics, Facebook, Instagram. It's inverted. Never mind. Vaughn
I-flip nyo lang.
Comics.
I-flip nyo.
Yep. Vaughn Comics. VAUGHN Comics.
Yeah, thank you,
Facebook
Vaughn.
and Instagram.
Thank you
No
for
problem.
giving us this 11:30 to Baguio.
No problem.
A very inspiring
Thanks for the interview.
comics. Very something that should be very famous in
Thank
the
you so
future.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Comics People. Bye-bye.